Today we're going to make a vehicle using simple shapes that we can find around our house or around our bedroom. These are some things I have laying around. I got some blocks. I found some post-it notes. This is a great square. Nice little shape. Got some playing cards. I think I'm just going to use one of these cards. But I also have the box if I want to use it. Got some other shapes here. Kind of like this rectangle too. I've got this shape, I've got the side, and I also have the bottom part. That's another shape I could use to trace around. I've got a square here, a little slide. And I have a lid for a circle. This is a lid just for a water bottle. Alright, let's get started here. I'm going to start with these squares. My vehicle is going to be a bus. This is what I did in class for you guys. But I want you to first just take the shapes that you found and just kind of play with them flat on your paper. Kind of get an idea how those shapes could go together. Make your own vehicle. You could make it up. I'm going to start with this square right in the middle. And really all I need to do with these objects that I found around my apartment is trace around these shapes. Again, these shapes are everywhere. There's my square. I can even get an idea like how many I want to use just by putting these objects in place as I go. So I'm definitely going to use 3 squares to make my bus. I chose to leave a little bit of a gap. And here's the back of my bus. Bus is a really simple shape to begin with. It's basically a giant rectangle. Challenge yourself. Try to make a minivan or a boat or a airplane or any type of vehicle that people can travel in. Now inside here I'm going to make some windows. I'm going to start with the bus driver area. Just use this little slide and trace the square. Now I'm going to use my playing card to do the windows on the side of the bus. And what's nice about having these shapes is you can kind of play around with them, placing their position in different places to get a feel of what you want before you commit to drawing your lines. I'm going to slide this over all the way to the end, I think. So I'm really just drawing a series of simple shapes inside of some other simple shapes that I use to create the structure of the bus. Let's see. Again, you can experiment with some other shapes. I know I'm going to need some wheels down here. Those look good. I think I'm going to add a little bit more detail to the bus. Find as many details, as many simple shapes as you can find. You might even want to find a picture to work from. I'm going to use this big rectangle here to draw another detail. You can draw this entire picture if you want to. I think right now I'm going to stop tracing and I'm going to go ahead and color my bus in. I've got this orange color, and then I'll think about it while I'm doing this, how I'm going to create my wheels. All right. So now I need some wheels. Again, I could draw these right on there. I could just take my pen and trace around these shapes, but something that might be fun and to experiment with is using some collage technique. So I've got another piece of paper here. Want to make sure that I can fit 2 circles on there. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to color this paper with a marker so I can have the color that I want for these wheels. You might have some construction paper, you might have some other materials, but this is just one way that you can solve the problem of getting a color that you want. Now I'm just taking that, I'm going to trace it. I've got different lids here too. I'm going to go with the big one. Even my glue stick here, there's a little circle there with the lid. Okay, so next, I'm just going to cut this out. And I need 2. So I'll start with 1. That looks good. Feels good size. All right. So there I have my 2 wheels. Now what's nice is I can play around with the placement. I can just set them on there, get a sense of where I want to glue those down. And again, have an idea ahead of time before I commit. I can move them out. It kind of looks like a train car if I had more wheels in the middle. I think I'm just going to overlap them a little bit, move this one in. And if you want to make sure that you're placing them where you really want to, you can just kind of draw around that shape with a pencil. Do that here. That way I don't lose my position when I take the wheel off to put some glue down. Okay, I'm just going to glue these spots where I traced that wheel, and that's it. Put my wheels on. And now I have my bus created from some simple shapes, some objects that I just had sitting around in my kitchen, apartment, or wherever space you're in.